Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is a variable in Java? Let me answer. Variable is a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Let me explain in detail, guys, okay? To understand what is a variable in Java, let me explain here with more details. So what is a variable in Java? Okay. Variable is a name. Okay. It's a name given to a, otherwise I'll write in a separate line, is a name given to a reserved memory location. Okay. It is a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Okay. This is what is a variable. If you don't understand this statement, no need to worry, guys. I'm going to explain something for you now. With that explanation, you will understand. Okay. For example, let's say this is a computer memory. Assume that this is some computer memory. Don't worry about all the in-depth concepts of the memory, computer memory, and how the Java will take care of the memory concepts and all. Don't worry about that. But high level, understand that this is a computer memory. Okay. So I'll divide this computer memory into multiple slots. I'll just split this computer memory into multiple slots like this. Okay. So here some boxes like this. Okay. Here vertically also I'm splitting. So each and every slot can store some data. Okay. In this computer memory, in every slot, there's a possibility of storing the data. So when I create a variable, okay, when I create a variable and store data into that variable, for example, if I say int a is equal to some 9, the moment I say that, what happens is the actual data is what? 9. 9 is stored into one of the memory slot in this computer memory. Okay, in this computer memory, in one of the slot, the actual value or data 9 is stored. Now, if you see this, there is a memory slot. Every memory slot in this computer has some address case. Okay, so for example, this one may have some address like this. Okay, 10111. No one can remember this address because every slot have this kind of address, and there will be a lot of memory slots that you cannot even remember this. Like in your mobile phone, there will be a lot of contacts. Every contact will have some different number. Can you remember each and every mobile number in your that is saved in your mobile phone? What you do, guys? You don't remember the mobile phone number. Rather, you will assign some name based on the person's name. You will assign a name to that particular mobile phone number. Okay. Whenever you need to call that number, you will just search for that name and call that person. Right. Here also, the data is stored in one of the memory slots of this computer memory, where we cannot remember each and every address of this memory slot in order to work with this particular data. Okay, to retrieve the data, to operate on this data. It's not possible in Java to remember every memory address of every memory slot where the data is getting stored with the Java programming and all. So what we do is we give some name to this memory location. Instead of remembering this data with the help of address, okay, this memory slot, instead of remembering this memory slot with the help of this address, which every memory slot will have some unique address. It's not possible to remember every unique memory address for every memory slot. So we are going to name this memory location. Okay, we are going to give a name to this memory location so that we can refer to this memory location using that name. Okay, so I'll give some name like A. In this example, it is A. You see, you clearly have given the variable as an given or named this particular variable with the A, which is a name, guys. Okay, name, using this name, that is variable name, we can refer to this memory location, and thereafter we can perform operations on this particular data. So now you understand this line. It will make sense now. What is a variable here? Here in this clearly in this example, int a is equal to 9. A is nothing but a variable. We generally call A as a variable. Okay. But actual definition or actual understanding of the variable is it is a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored into the variable. Okay. So variable is a name given to this memory location. Okay. To refer to this memory location. Variable is nothing but a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Guys, to refer to this memory location where the actual data is stored, we are going to give a name to the variable. Okay. So in simple words, variable is a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored, guys. Okay. So hope guys you got an idea what exactly is a variable. If someone asks you what is a variable in Java, you have to say that it is just a name given to a reserved memory location where actual data is stored. So why we have to give a name to a reserved memory location? So that we can, with the help of the variable, we can refer to that memory location. We cannot remember the memory address every time. Every slot address, if you want to remember, that's not possible. We have to give it some name. And then using that name, we will refer to the memory location where the actual data is stored. That's what is a variable, guys. Hope you got it now. But most of the people in the industry, when you ask anyone about what is a variable in Java, variable stores data in Java. That's what they will answer. Okay. In simple words, they will answer variable stores data in Java. Okay. Variable is something where we have in Java to store the data. That's the purpose of the variable, guys. Okay. But what exactly is a variable? It's a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. But you can also, okay, give a second answer. Okay. First, you give this proper answer saying that it's a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Okay, technically and theoretically, on a high level basis, you can say that variable stores data in Java programming. Okay, in Java programming, if you have to store data, variable is only means. Okay, if you want to store some data in Java programming means without variables, we cannot store data in Java programs. Okay, simple words, variables store data in Java programming. Okay, Java programs are programming, whatever you want. Okay, and what type of data can be stored into these variables? What type of data can be stored into these variables? It all depends on with which data type the variable is declared with. If you declare the variable with int data type, integer kind of data can be stored into that particular variable. If you declare the variable with Boolean data type, Boolean literals only, Boolean data or Boolean literals can only be stored into that variable. If you declare the data with char data type, single letter characters surrounded by single quotes can be stored into that variable and so on. Okay. If you declare that variable with the double data type, decimal values can be stored into that particular variable. Based on the type of the data type that you are declaring the variable with, that type of literals or data can be stored into the variables. Okay, fine. So again, variable is nothing but a name, just a name like a phone number and some phone number name, contact name, right? Contact name and contact phone number. Okay, it's like a name given to a reserved memory location so that we can refer to that memory location whenever we want to perform operations on that particular data that is actually stored in that particular memory location. Okay, fine. So let me practically demonstrate how a variable looks like and all those stuff. Okay, let's freshly create a new class for that. I'll create a new class, let's say class B. With main method, I'll create some random name I'm giving with the main method I'm creating. And inside this method, I'm going to create a variable int a is equal to some 9. Okay. Then double b is equal to 3.56. Okay. Then char t is equal to some s. Then boolean t is equal to true. And so on. I can create any number of variables, guys. All these things are variables. A, B, C, D. Okay. These are the variables are nothing but the names given to the reserved memory location where the actual data like 9, 3.56, single letter character S, true are stored. Okay. This data will be stored in the reserved memory locations, and to give a name to that reserved memory locations where this actual data is stored, we give a name to that reserved memory locations instead of remembering them with the memory address locations in the form of memory address like 1017 and all those stuff. Okay, so variables are nothing but the names given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored, and based on the type of the type of the variable with which data type you have declared the variable, that particular data need to be stored. For example, instead of 9, if I try to store 9.5, you will get a compiler error saying type mismatch cannot convert from double to int. If you want to store 9.5 into this variable A, then you have to make it double. Otherwise, you cannot store. Only 9 can be stored now. Okay. So hope guys you got an idea and answer for this question with practical demonstration in this session. What is a variable in Java? Variable is a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored like this. Okay. It's a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.